Hi guys, welcome to Stacking the Shelf Showcase Sunday and Mailbox Monday for the weekend of December 6th. These are actually my books for like the last 3 weeks, I think. So there's quite a few of them. I'll go ahead and just start going through them. The first one I got was for review, and that is Shadow Study by Maria V. Schneider. Maria wrote Poison Study, the Glass one, and a Healer series as well. Anyways, they've all been like young adult fantasies with some magic in them. I'm excited for this one. I actually didn't really like her Glass series that much, or her Healer one, but I really like the Poison Study series, and this Shadow Study series actually goes back to Yelena and dealing with those characters. So I think this might actually be a really good book, and hopefully maybe a little bit better than her other series have been. It comes out February 24th, so it comes out in a few months, and so I'm excited to read that. The second one I got for review through NetGalley is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. This is the second book in the Red Rising trilogy, and this will come out in January. I think it's January 13th. For those who read Red Rising, I actually really liked it. It was kind of a dystopian, kind of an epic fantasy. Basically, all these people end up being put in this kingdom to like fight. So it sounds a little bit like Hunger Games, but it was different. They're actually in kingdoms like fighting each other, and every group of students gets a kingdom that they're leading, and it was really interesting. So Golden Sun comes out in January, and I am excited to read that. The third one I got for review from NetGalley is The Arctic Code by Matthew J. Kirby, and this is the first book in the Dark Gravity sequence. This comes out April 28th, so I got this one quite early. It's supposed to be a new middle grade adventure, and it's set in the future when Earth is going through another ice age. So I'm excited to read that. I really liked Matthew Kirby. He wrote The Clockwork 3 and Icefall, and I really enjoyed both of those books. So I'm excited to see what he's going to come up with. They're recommending this for fans of like Brandon Muell's books and Rick Riordan's books, that kind of thing. So that should be a good read. And then the last one I got for review through NetGalley is Illusionarium by Heather Dixon. Heather Dixon wrote Entwined, which was a fairy tale retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, I believe. It was a very good book. She has a very beautiful writing style. This book is a little bit different though. It is set in an alternate London where the scientist is like desperately trying to save his family from some other stuff going on. So actually, from reading it, it sounds more like an adult book than a young adult book, but I wasn't entirely sure. It doesn't come out until May 19th. So again, this one, I got this way ahead of time, but it comes out May 19th next year. So I'm excited to read that. I really like the cover for it. It's very pretty. It sounds like it might be a little bit of a steampunky read too, which I'm a big fan of. All right, then the last one I got for review, I got through the Amazon Vine program. And this is kind of different from any of the other ones that I just picked up because it looked interesting. And this is Lonely Planet's Instant Expert, a visual guide to the skills you've always wanted. It looks kind of fun, like, you know, let's see, how to be a good bird watcher, or arts and culture, you know, how to deal with an interpreter or a translator, how to be a food taster and what they do. So it's like little like 2-page blurbs on like a whole bunch of expert things, and it just looks kind of neat, and I'll probably be reading pretty soon because I have to review my Amazon Vine stuff very quickly. I did buy 2 audiobooks. There was another big sale for Audible going on Black Friday and then kind of Cyber Monday deal. The first one I got was Clockwork Heart by Drew I'm going to totally murder this last name. Drew Pagliassotti. This is one of the ones I actually have it in paperback, but I have so many books in paperback I don't get to read. Sometimes when I see them for sale on audiobook, I read those quicker, so I buy it for audiobook. So this was a $4.95 audiobook, so I went ahead and got it again. It's a steampunk fantasy about a winged courier in a city that runs off of a clockwork heart. So that's all I really know. I know there's supposed to be a little romance in here. It's fantasy, steampunk kind of thing. So I didn't realize, I thought this was a standalone. It looks like there's a couple other books and it's a trilogy or something, but it should be a fun listen. The second audiobook I got is Spellbound by Larry Correia. This is the second book in the Grimnoir, I don't know how to say that, Chronicles. I have the first one to read for audiobook, and I'm a big fan of Larry Correia's Monster Hunters International. So I think I'm really going to like this series, and hopefully I'll be reading the first audiobook and reviewing that on my blog sometime in the next couple months. So we'll see how that is. All right. Then I swapped 2 books through the through Paperback Swap, which you guys know I use that. The first one I got through swapping was The Sugar Queen by Sarah Addison Allen. And Sarah Addison Allen wrote Garden Spells, which was just a very beautiful kind of mystical realism fantasy novel about a group of sisters who are in their, upper 20s, mid 30s, and are just dealing with some magical stuff as well as like personal stuff. And it's almost like a Lifetime movie that's a book with magic or something. But I actually really liked it. It was really like beautifully written, and I liked that the characters were more like in their 30s, which is how old I am, and it was kind of a nice read. She's coming out with a sequel to that called something Frost. I'm blanking. But I didn't realize, it's like, she's one of those authors I read and I really liked, but I never went back and like read any of her other books. So I saw some Paperback Swap and decided to pick it up. We'll see. We'll see if it's any good. See if I like it as much as Garden Spells. I really would like to pick up the sequel to Garden Spells though, so I will probably do that. The second book I swapped was In a Glass Grimly by Adam Gidwitz. Actually have already read and reviewed this. I got a copy from the library, but I did want to read these with my son, so I'm kind of slowly working on getting them through Paperback Swap. So, sorry, I got distracted for a second there because my cat like went under the table I'm talking on, and sometimes he likes to knock it over. So I was hoping you would do that. Then I finally got a whole bunch of books from the library, and these are all sequels to series I am reading, and a lot of times I won't buy those unless I'm like absolutely in love with the series. I'll just get it from the library. So the first one I got, well actually this one's not a sequel. I got the first book in Devin Monk's new series, House Immortal. I really liked her Allie Beckstrom series, and I also read the one after that that was like a break-off series. I did not really enjoy her steampunk series that she's been doing. But this sounded interesting. This is House Immortal. All I really know about it is it's about a girl who's been pieced back together by bits of other people. And she's got to deal with that, and somebody's out to get rid of. There's like 13 of these people that have been put together from other people's parts, and somebody's trying to get rid of them. So she's got to survive that. We'll see. Devin Monk has always been a little bit hit or miss for me. So, I'll read it and see how it is. The second book I got is A Million Suns by Beth Revis. I did just finish reading Across the Universe like a couple days ago. I loved it. It was really good. So I immediately went and got A Million Suns by Beth Revis. And I kind of like reading series when like all the books are out, because then I can just go and finish it. All right, the other one I got that I'm really excited to read, I actually got a lot I'm really excited to read, is Rogue Knight. And I'm sorry, this is getting so much glare. This is the second book in the Five Kingdoms series by Brandon Mule. I was a huge fan of Brandon Mule's Fablehaven series. Not as big of a fan of his second series, which was The Beyonders, I believe. Yeah. But I really did like the first book in the Five Kingdoms series. It was one of my favorite books, my favorite middle grade reads of last year. So I'm incredibly excited to see where this goes. And I probably will, I ended up buying the first one, like a final copy of the first one. So I probably will end up buying this. Because again, this is another thing I can read with my son. So the next book I got from the library is the second book in the Heart of Dread series, Stolen, by Melissa De La Cruz and Michael Johnston. I really liked Frozen, the first book in this series. It was creative, it was interesting, and it was very different from other stuff I've read by Melissa De La Cruz. Much more like fantasy, post-apocalyptic dystopia type of thing, but not like a lot of young adult. I don't even know how to describe it. I liked it. Stolen is the second one in that series, and I'm very excited to see what happens, because the first book kind of ended on a major cliffhanger, so that should be interesting. And then the last one I got is Symbiont by Mira Grant, and Those who follow my blog know I'm a huge Seanan McGuire fan. The other name Seanan McGuire writes under is Mira Grant, and she wrote the Newsflesh trilogy, which I loved. And now she's been working on the Parasitology. I think it's a trilogy. And this is the second book in that. It's huge. But I really like the first one. She just comes up with very interesting concepts. And so these are more horror books. And Parasitology was kind of like a blend of horror and science fiction. It's about a girl, or a woman, actually these are adult books, who gets a parasite implanted in her body after a horrific accident, and that parasite is like what is helping her survive after that accident. It helps to heal her. But as you might imagine, the parasite isn't exactly passive. So things are happening around the world as more and more people get these parasites implanted. So the parasites are supposed to help heal people, and they're supposed to help prevent like you from getting other infections, deadly infections like cancers and stuff like that. So more and more people are getting them implanted, and things are going not so great for the people who have gotten them implanted. Anyways, so it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like this blend of science fiction and horror, and maybe eventually it might be a little bit of apocalyptic stuff because this parasites being implanted in people's getting more and more widespread. So it's been really interesting, really fascinating, and I'm sorry I talked about that for a long time, but Symbiont by Mira Grant, it came out I think it was the end of November, so. And that is all of my books, and there's a lot of them, so let's see, I'll stack them all up here really quick. I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. I did not post last week because I was busy doing, lots of family stuff. So here's the stack of books that I got that were paperback, and then I got a whole bunch of other review ones. So, yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying the Christmas season. It came kind of fast this year. Like, I think Thanksgiving was really late, and all of a sudden I have all this Christmas stuff I have to do, and it's going to be the second week of December, and I haven't done all of it, so I'm going to try to get through some of that. But anyways, all that aside, I hope you guys got some great books, that you have had a great week, and you have a good time reading them all. I will talk to you next week. Bye.